I don't write for harp, cello, clarinet, and all this kind of. These are people bringing all they have with themselves. And when you regard something, a situation like that, you have to accept they can bring their anger, they can bring their like cynicism, violence, not just their praising. Then it becomes something more than the work you write. If you say like, I deal with space, you have to accept the fact that you have to confront with all that stuff, because no space is safe. I write for people, at times for machines, and the way in which they unpack or activate space or vice versa. I'm interested in how sound like interacts with that physical space, but what also like that kind of experience brings in terms of what has been accumulated there, because part of my practice dealing with ancient buildings, like from like 6th century, maybe older, or structures, they don't exist anymore. This CD project, like two pieces are definitely engaging with this kind of architectural spaces. One is like Thousand Dead Bodies. It's engaging with the WDR Zendezal, the concert hall. The other one is Das von MB, the orchestral piece, is dealing with one of these in-between spaces, like the Church of Holy Apostles of Constantinople, and from this same period of time, like from 6th century, there's the Basilica of St. John in Ephesus. I designed this in-between structure that is totally hypothetical. Probably a historian and an architect would kill me. Or maybe, I don't know. I hope they wouldn't kill me. But and then to see how sound behaves in this kind of hypothetical space, and then compose the orchestral part of that piece. It's like a simultaneous piece, which means there's this Baroque ensemble, a quartet, and a large orchestra, and they can be played together or as standalone pieces as well. So they have interdependent discourses. So it's a kind of a suicidal project in terms of like, okay, so you're bringing like period instruments. That already is an interesting thing to deal with, like a contemporary music composer. And just to extend things a little bit further, like I said, okay, fine. What will it be like? Because I'm talking about like the musician and their relation to their instrument, right? Like the design of that instrument, and that, you know, if you're dealing with a clarinet, oboe, it's not just one design. There's like a histories behind it, not just one, right? So how to bring that into the play, basically. And then I was, okay, let's work with people who are expertise of contemporary music, who would, for the first time, play period instruments? We really set out, we had this like 600 pages of documentation with them playing. They're like literally exploring every note. Like Carl Roseman or with James Salward or even like Peter Will, like we in these kind of sessions we would have like, oh, I found a high F, like he gets excited, and we try out other stuff in a way that they could breach with their experience and what has been preceded in multiple ways for their praxis also. Okay, so what is this? This is for me one way of thinking certain tuning systems I work with in relation to timbre. Because timbre is really hard to like visualize. I never showed these models before, so I'm kind of excited. So what you see is a representation of a four-dimensional shape that is called stellated 120 cell that facades the 600 cell. That's the technical name. But what really is actually three-dimensional shadow of it. Like if you think of a three-dimensional object, the shadow is the two dimensions on the wall, right? And this is the three-dimensional shadow of a four-dimensional object. And every ball you see, and they're color-coded for different reasons, which I'm not gonna talk about now, but that they represent certain kind of centricities. What's really interesting about this hypergeometrical geometrical relationships is like the way they start to rotate or move. They wouldn't necessarily move like that. That's still a three-dimensional shape I'm rotating. The way it would rotate, and I'm hoping to show it in like an animation, that the notion of like what's near and far away changes in a way that we would not expect in a three-dimensional setting, basically. So it's not just helped me to visualize how I think dynamically the relationship between timbre and tuning, but it also like how regard time as a memory.